Have you ever experienced a separation so devastating it feels like your very soul has been torn apart? In the mystical journey of twin flames, this phenomenon is known as soul shock, an experience that goes far beyond conventional relationship trauma. Soul shock manifests as a profound energetic disruption that occurs when twin flames separate, particularly during the infamous runner phase. Unlike typical breakup pain, this experience affects every level of being: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. It's comparable to spiritual whiplash, where the sudden energetic disconnection creates a shockwave through both twins' entire system. Think of it as a cosmic wake-up call that shakes you to your very foundation. Your body might react with physical symptoms like loss of appetite and insomnia, while your perception of reality itself can shift. Colors appear different, familiar scents change, and time seems to move differently. This isn't just emotional trauma, it's a full-body, multi-dimensional experience that can feel like being turned inside out. The intensity of soul shock often catches both twins off guard, but it's particularly challenging for the runner, who experiences it as an overwhelming flood of emotions they're not prepared to handle. This spiritual catalyst forces both partners to confront their deepest fears, unresolved traumas, and shadow aspects, whether they're ready or not. What makes soul shock unique is its timing. While the chaser typically experiences it immediately upon separation, the runner often enters this phase later when their defensive walls begin to crumble. This delayed reaction creates a complex dance of healing and transformation that affects both twins, though they may process it at different times and in different ways. Remember, while soul shock feels like an ending, it's actually a beginning, the start of a profound spiritual awakening that will transform both twins from the inside out. It's nature's way of breaking down old patterns and beliefs to make way for something entirely new. The soul shock, not merely an emotional response, but a fundamental disruption of one's entire energetic system that occurs when twin flames separate. Just as a star's gravitational collapse can tear apart the very fabric of space-time, soul shock tears through the delicate weaving of one's spiritual, emotional, and physical existence. The experience transcends ordinary heartbreak, manifesting as a profound, energetic upheaval that affects everything from appetite to perception, even altering how colors appear and sense registers in consciousness. The mystery lies in its paradoxical nature. Twin flames experience this shock simultaneously yet asymmetrically. The runner, often overwhelmed by the sheer intensity of the connection, experiences it as a freezing of emotions, a spiritual hibernation that numbs the pain but cannot sever the underlying bond. Meanwhile, the chaser immediately plunges into the depths of conscious suffering, feeling every nuance of the separation with excruciating clarity. This phenomenon operates like a cosmic reset button, triggering what mystics call a Kundalini awakening. It's as if the universe itself intervenes, using the shock of separation to initiate a profound transformation in both souls. The process mirrors the death and rebirth cycle of a phoenix. Through the agony of separation, both twins are forced to confront their deepest wounds and begin an alchemical process of spiritual transformation. The runner's experience particularly illuminates this mystery. They often describe feeling frozen in time, where logical thought processes cease and emotional responses become muted. It's reminiscent of how light behaves differently at the event horizon of a black hole. Time itself seems to alter its fundamental nature. This state of suspended animation serves a higher purpose, creating a cocoon of sorts where the soul can begin its metamorphosis, even as the conscious mind resists the process. Think of it as the universe's way of ensuring spiritual evolution cannot be bypassed. Just as a caterpillar must completely dissolve within its chrysalis before emerging as a butterfly, soul shock creates the conditions necessary for a complete spiritual transformation. The pain isn't just pain, it's the breaking down of old patterns, beliefs, and ways of being that no longer serve the soul's highest purpose. Picture a moth drawn inexorably to a flame, yet constantly pulling away from its warmth. This is the essence of the twin flame runner's dilemma. The runner's journey is perhaps the most misunderstood aspect of the twin flame dynamic, for it represents not a rejection of love, but rather an overwhelming fear of its intensity. The runner faces the precipice of emotion, where the vastness of unconditional love stretches before them, threatening to swallow their carefully constructed sense of self. They feel an inexplicable pull toward their twin, yet simultaneously experience an overwhelming urge to flee from the very thing that could heal their deepest wounds. The runner's experience is like being caught in a spiritual undertow. On the surface, they may appear calm and collected, pursuing relationships that don't challenge them, seeking partners who won't mirror their deepest fears and insecurities. But beneath this facade lies a turbulent sea of emotions: guilt, fear, shame, and an inexplicable longing that no amount of distance seems to quell. What makes this dynamic particularly fascinating is its paradoxical nature. The more intensely the runner feels the connection, the more desperately they try to escape it. It's as if they're trying to outrun their own shadow, not realizing that the very act of running only makes the shadow grow longer. They often seek refuge in shallow relationships or busy themselves with mundane distractions, all while carrying the weight of an unspoken truth that somewhere out there, their twin flame holds a piece of their soul. The runner's journey isn't about rejection, it's about protection. Like a turtle retreating into its shell at the first sign of danger, they withdraw not because they don't care, but because they care too much. The intensity of the connection threatens to dissolve the walls they've built around their heart, walls that have protected them from past hurts and disappointments. Yet here's the profound irony. In running from their twin flame, they're actually running from themselves. Every step away from their twin is a step away from their own healing, their own growth, their own divine potential. But perhaps this too serves a purpose in the grand cosmic dance. For sometimes we must lose ourselves completely before we can truly find our way home. Picture two stars caught in each other's gravitational pull, yet spinning in opposite directions. This is the paradoxical dance of twin flames during their dark night of the soul, like a cosmic ballet choreographed by the universe itself. The chaser and runner embark on parallel journeys of transformation, though their timing creates a haunting asymmetry that serves a higher purpose. The chaser's dark night descends like a sudden eclipse, casting them into shadows the moment separation occurs. Think of it as spiritual hypothermia. The warmth of connection is ripped away without warning, leaving them in a state of emotional shock so profound that even basic functions become challenging. They lose appetite, sleep eludes them, and the very fabric of reality seems to shift beneath their feet. Time itself seems to move with an alien rhythm. But here's where the cosmic choreography becomes truly fascinating. While the chaser plunges immediately into their abyss, the runner initially floats in a state of emotional numbness, like a deep-sea creature temporarily protected from the crushing pressures of the depths. They may pursue shallow relationships or busy themselves with mundane distractions. Yet beneath this facade lies a turbulent sea of unprocessed emotions waiting to surface. Think of it as spiritual plate tectonics. The pressure builds silently beneath the surface until something must give. When it finally does, the runner's dark night arrives with the force of a tsunami, often months or even years after the initial separation. Their carefully constructed defenses crumble, and they find themselves facing not only the pain of separation, but also the weight of their actions and the recognition of what they've lost. This asynchronous suffering serves a profound purpose in the twin flame journey. Like a forest fire that, while devastating, creates the conditions for new growth, these dark nights burn away the ego's illusions and force both twins to confront their deepest wounds. The chaser learns to release attachment and find wholeness within themselves, while the runner must eventually face the truth they've been running from, that no amount of distance can sever the soul connection they share. The beauty in this seemingly cruel timing lies in its perfect orchestration. By the time the runner begins their dark night, the chaser has often already emerged from theirs, stronger and more whole. This creates a cosmic balance, ensuring that at least one twin has found their center and can hold space for the other's transformation, even if from a distance. In the end, these parallel dark nights aren't just about suffering, they're about alchemical transformation. Like butterflies dissolving in their chrysalises before emerging transformed, both twins must experience the spiritual dissolution to be reborn into their higher selves. The asynchronous timing ensures that the light of one twin's transformation can always illuminate the other's darkness, creating a perfect dance of shadow and light that leads both toward their ultimate awakening. Soul shock. It's not just emotional trauma, but a divine alchemical process designed to transmute the very essence of who we are. This profound spiritual crisis serves as the cosmic crucible for transformation. What makes soul shock truly remarkable is its role as a spiritual catalyst. It's like divine lightning bolt striking the soul's dormant ground. The shock doesn't just hurt, it awakens. When twin flames separate, particularly during the runner phase, Both parties experience what mystics call a Kundalini awakening, an intense surge of spiritual energy that rises from the base of the spine to the crown of the head, burning away karmic debris and old patterns along its path. This process mirrors the ancient Hindu concept of tapas, the burning away of impurities through spiritual fire. Just as gold must be heated to extreme temperatures to separate it from lesser metals, soul shock creates the precise conditions needed for spiritual purification. The intense emotional pain, the physical symptoms, the altered perceptions, these aren't random side effects, but carefully orchestrated aspects of a profound spiritual transformation. Here's where the mystery deepens. The very thing that feels like it's destroying us is actually rebuilding us from the ground up. Like a forest fire that, while devastating, creates the perfect conditions for new growth, soul shock burns away the ego's illusions and forces both twins to confront their deepest wounds. The runner's fear, the chaser's attachment, the shared karma, all of it rises to the surface not to torment us, but to be transformed. This isn't just about personal healing, it's about evolutionary advancement. Each twin flame pair that goes through this process helps raise the collective consciousness of humanity. Their journey through soul shock creates a template for transformation that ripples out into the collective field, making it easier for others to navigate their own awakening processes. Remember, in this sacred crisis, nothing is random. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of confusion serves the higher purpose of spiritual evolution. You're not just healing yourself, you're participating in a cosmic dance of transformation that extends far beyond your personal journey. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast ocean, watching waves crash against the shore. Each wave represents a surge of emotion, a piece of resistance you've been holding onto. The path to healing through soul shock isn't about fighting these waves. It's about learning to float with them, to surrender to their rhythm while maintaining your own inner balance. This surrender isn't about giving up or giving in. It's about releasing the illusion of control that keeps both twins locked in their respective patterns. Think of it as spiritual alchemy, where the lead of resistance transforms into the gold of acceptance. The runner must eventually surrender to their deepest fears, while the chaser must surrender their need to chase. It's like two dancers learning to move independently while remaining perfectly synchronized to the same cosmic rhythm. The healing journey often begins when both twins reach what mystics call the 0 point, that moment when all resistance dissolves and only pure awareness remains. For the runner, this often comes after they've exhausted all their attempts to escape the connection through relationships that feel safe, but ultimately hollow. For the chaser, it arrives when they finally release their grip on the outcome and turn their focus inward. What makes this phase particularly profound is how it reveals the true nature of the twin flame connection. Like a mirror reflecting back our deepest truths, the surrender process shows us that what we've been seeking externally has always existed within. The runner discovers that they weren't really running from their twin, but from the intensity of their own light. The chaser realizes that the love they've been pursuing is already present in their own heart. This is where the real transformation occurs, in that sacred space between letting go and becoming whole. It's not about reaching a destination, but about embracing the journey itself. Each step toward self-love, each moment of genuine acceptance, creates ripples that affect both twins, even when they're physically apart. The healing isn't just personal, it's collective, cosmic, and ultimately transformative for both parties involved in this sacred dance of souls. Remember, surrender doesn't mean the end. It's actually the beginning of true union, first with yourself, and then, perhaps, with your twin. But that union can only manifest when both parties have released their grip on how they think it should look, and instead allow it to unfold in divine timing and perfect order. Well, soul shock, while intensely challenging, ultimately serves as a gateway to profound spiritual evolution. When both twins move through this phase, remarkable transformations occur on multiple levels. The intense emotional upheaval forces both partners to confront their deepest wounds and triggers unprecedented self-discovery. This painful process, though challenging, leads to authentic self-love and inner wholeness that transcends the original connection. The shock often catalyzes a powerful spiritual awakening, sometimes manifesting as a Kundalini activation that fundamentally shifts one's perception of reality. Colors appear different, senses heighten, and consciousness expands in ways that permanently alter both twins' spiritual paths. The journey through soul shock inevitably leads to surrender to the divine timing and purpose of the connection. This surrender becomes the key that unlocks deeper levels of healing and transformation for both partners. Whether reunion occurs in the physical realm or not, the soul shock experience serves its highest purpose, triggering profound spiritual evolution and self-realization. The intense purification process strips away ego defenses and false identities, revealing the authentic self beneath. Remember that while the path through soul shock may feel unbearable, it carries within it the seeds of extraordinary transformation. Each tear shed, each moment of confusion, and each wave of grief serves the higher purpose of spiritual awakening and soul evolution. The journey isn't about reaching a destination, but about becoming who you truly are.